We had requests asking us how we like to go ahead and defend the gun Panther heavy QB wrap. And what we're going to show here is how this play works first, and then we're actually going to show a defense that actually defends it fairly well. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And as you look at it, the problem with this play as far as the defending it, a lot of times what will wind up happening is the defenders are going to wind up going in one direction. For example, the play is designed at least to act like the running back's actually going to get the ball, and he's going to wind up going in this direction. So the quarterback will actually fake to him. And then what winds up happening is a lot of cases these defenders, in this case these linebackers, will actually wind up going in this direction. And then what winds up happening, the quarterback actually keeps the ball, and then he winds up going down to this direction here. He can either go inside or he has the option to go outside depending on where the defenders play out here as far as to the outside. And for that reason, it makes his play pretty effective. Throw in the fact that there's also a lineman, or at least a lineman that's pulling from over here, so there's going to be a guy coming all the way across, and he's going to wind up blocking in this area here, making this play pretty hard to defend. And that's the problem with it as far as trying to defend it, because what happens is your linebackers or some of your defenders wind up going to the left side trying to go ahead and defend the run as far as to the running back, and then the quarterback has the angle as far as running towards the right, and he can wind up picking up some yardage. So what I want to show you here is let's go ahead and watch this play, and you'll see what I mean as far as the way this play actually works. So we're just going to go ahead and run. Matter of fact, I'm just going to let the computer take control of that quarterback, and I'm not even doing anything, and you can see that he wind up picking up some nice positive yards with that, and that's not even me in control of them. Let's look at it from the instant replay and just take a look at this as you watch this play. And I want you guys to go ahead and focus in on some of these defenders here. So just kind of watch these guys right here and just kind of see what winds up happening here as you watch your screen there. You're going to wind up seeing a linebacker going in that direction. See how they wind up going a little bit, at least initially. Not quite that bad there on this particular play, but they do take a step. As you watch here, they actually take a step towards the left. So you'll see initially they kind of wind up going a little bit in this direction here, at least initially, and that's just enough for them to be messed up. And sometimes it's even more so in what you're seeing here. There they go, taking that step. And then the other problem is this defender here actually winds up getting through. In this case, it's going to wind up being this right in right here. He actually winds up getting through, but he doesn't go after the quarterback. He goes after that running back. And right there, he goes after the running back. And guess what? He thinks the running back has the ball, so he's totally out of the play. Now, fortunately, we do have a defender to the outside. In this case, it's going to be this corner out here on the outside. In this case, it's going to wind up being the left corner, who can at least be in contained to force that quarterback back inside. But the problem with that is he's so far outside he can't get in here fast enough to make a play on him. At least he can keep him inside, so he's going to force this quarterback to go inside and look to find that hole in here. And that's what he's going to wind up doing because there's no defender there. Everybody's out of position, and then that quarterback's going to wind up going up the gut there, picking up some positive yardage. And that's, remember, that's not even me. That is the CPU in control of him, and he winds up picking up about a 10-yard gain there. So and that's the problem with this particular play, that I looked at a lot of different defenses trying to defend it, and I've seen this happen a lot with this particular play, that it doesn't do a very good job at defending it, at least with this particular defense. And some of the other defenses that I wind up going through, I wind up seeing something similar with that. So what I thought I would do is find another defense that actually winds up working. And the fact that I like to run the 46 playbook makes me have to, or some of the 46 defense, in this case, I'm actually using the Falcons playbook, but the 46 normal's in this particular playbook. And what I'm going to show is a defense that actually defends it fairly well. It's this inside blitz. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, Cobra, and that play probably won't do that well. Well, you're right. At least initially it doesn't. So let's go ahead and run it against the 46 normal inside blitz, not doing anything at all. We're just going to go ahead and run the play. Again, I'm going to go ahead and let the quarterback, as far as the CPU, be in control of him and see what winds up happening again. Nice little move there. Now, if your opponent's got some stick, he may want to picking up some nice yardage with there. So the defense did a fairly good job. At least initially, it looked like this play was actually going to be defended, but it wasn't. Let's go and run it again. Same thing. And this time he winds up going inside. You can see that could wind up being a touchdown right there. So, as I said before, if you don't do anything at all, this defense probably isn't going to do a very good job. So let's go and continue on with this and take a look at an adjustment or two that you can use with this particular defense that's actually going to wind up blowing this play up. And you really don't have to do anything as far as user control. Now, let me just say this before I continue on. If you got some good user stick, you can probably find some other defenses in the game actually do a pretty good job at defending this as long as you got good user stick. Now, for those of us who don't, and not to say I don't, but to say that for some of you guys who may not, then you may want to try this defense. Let's go and take a look at this one. What I'm going to wind up doing here is I'm going to go ahead and crash the defensive line to the right. So you can see the defensive line's now crashing to the right. And then I want to add this little element to it. And this is the pass. Now you can do pass, you can do run left, run right. I'm going to go ahead and press up on the right stick to put this in pass. So now the defense is in pass defense. And if you really think about this, it's really kind of a play action. So the QB, or as far as the pass, as far as using the pass option here, as far as on defense, that's what it's used for, to go ahead and defend the play action plays. Well, it does the same thing here with the QB wrap play. What winds up happening is you're going to watch is that this defender right here, in this case, is going to wind up being the right end. I'm actually going to not be in control of him. I'm actually going to move off here in just a second with him. But I'm going to go take control of another defender. What you're going to wind up finding here as I show this guy right here, again, is going to be the right end. He's not going to bite on this and go after that halfback. As this halfback winds up coming across, he's not going to try to blow him up. Instead, what he's going to do is, because we got this as using the pass option here, as far as that, what we're going to wind up doing, instead of him going after that guy, what he's going to wind up doing here is he's actually going to wind up going after the quarterback. And that's going to allow us to go ahead and blow this play up without even being an issue. So let's go ahead and run it, and you'll see what I mean. Again, I'm not in control of him, and then he winds up blowing him up. As far as the quarterback winds up being blown up by the right end, simply because I wind up using the pass commit rather than not using it. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is go and look around and look at some of these defenses in the game. In this particular case, it's a 46 normal inside blitz. By crashing the defensive line to the right and then using the pass commit, what winds up happening is this defender, again, as I talked about earlier, this guy right here, which is the right end, he's going to wind up coming in and not biting on the play fake to the running back, or at least a fake to the running back. Instead, he's going to actually go after the quarterback, and he's going to wind up blowing up this run before he even has a chance to get going. And that's what I like about this particular defense. Now, the cool thing about this is if you were to run against some of the pass plays, because you got to keep in mind, they wind up having 3 tight ends out here. And most teams don't have 3 good tight ends, and you're going to wind up having a fairly good pass coverage. I know that this is a cover 0, but you should wind up still getting some pressure on the quarterback as well. Say they come out in the stick or whatever pass plays they can run from this particular formation, and you should wind up having some type of pressure. So it's not a defense that you can't run to go ahead and defend the pass as well, because as most of us know, the 46 inside blitz is a nice defense to bring pressure. So you're going to still wind up getting the pressure, and you're also going to be able to defend this particular run. Now, I can't tell you it's going to defend the other ones, such as the QB power and some of the other runs that you will find in this formation. For example, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of those other a couple of those other run plays that you'll find in this formation. I'm actually going to show how to defend them, but as far as the QB power, the QB blast, and some of those other ones in here that you're going to have, but the pass plays, it should wind up defending them fairly decent. Here's a tight end stick right there. So as far as with this particular play, I just wanted to point that out to you guys. This is something that you can go ahead and use to go ahead and defend it. And again, this one is called 46 normal inside blitz. I'm looking to go ahead and defend the QB wrap play that's been pretty popular as far as online this year, especially with some of the faster quarterbacks in the game, that you can use it to go ahead and defend this. Now, you'll want to go ahead and lab this particular defense against some of those other run plays and see what you wind up having as far as success against those. But the question was asked, how do I like to defend a gun Panther heavy QB wrap? And that's what this particular video is all about. So again, that's what I wanted to talk about this week. We'll just show something else. If you guys got any kind of plays you guys like to see defended, or like to see some new plays as far as on the offensive side of the ball, just send me an email at cobra@xsosfootball.com, and I'll be glad to go ahead and get them up. So again, this is just showing how to defend the Gun Panther heavy QB wrap.